I've been talking to you guys for a while now. I'm sorry. I forgot to push go live. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I saw Verna's comment. Hope all is well. Haven't seen her this late. I've been talking to you guys. I gotta talk to you guys again. Sorry about that. Yes, I am okay. My computer, for some reason, the camera didn't work. I thought it would work because sometimes, if something doesn't work, then it doesn't update and then it works. But that is not the case. And I am sorry I took so long to realize that I wasn't actually live. So thank you, Verna. Now we see you. Good. So yeah, I am actually doing the same thing I did last time, except for I turned my phone sideways and we are being recorded on the phone. And then the computer I can see. I just don't know why my camera's not working. It's easier for me to go through the chat on there. So let me go through it again. I'm Katrina, and this is Sow and Tare, and we do a weekly live. Thank you, Buster. Now we see and hear you. We do a weekly live on Mondays, and this is a reminder that next week, instead of Monday, it's going to be Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And yeah, thank you guys for staying. And even though I wasn't officially on here, I don't know what was it. It's 94 degrees. So what I would like to hear from you guys is how hot has it been? I know the Midwest and the Eastern United States had a lot of heat, got to hit heat advisories, but from what I saw, there was like a lot of 90s and like it didn't really get into the hundreds, I don't think. Maybe it did. Anyway, let me know. I know it feels hotter. It feels hotter when there's higher humidity, which those areas do have. But yeah, it got up to 94 today. Okay, I'm going to scroll up again and say hello again. Oh, PJ's here. At least she was. Good evening. I'll probably be asleep. Hope everyone has a good night. We hope you have a good night as well, PJ. And Verna's on here. Verna's vase place she's in blue with a little wrench. She's a moderator on the channel. Go check out her channel. She does a live chat every Saturday morning and does all sorts of stuff in her apartment. All right. Homestead Matters says, good evening, everyone. I hope you're staying cool. I hope you are staying cool as well. And Buster says, hey to all. And I said earlier, hey, Buster, you're early. Awesome. I hope you have a good time feeding your animals because I did read that comment later. And Joy says, hello from Western Oregon. Hello, Joy. I hope you're doing well. And I'm wondering how much wind you're getting because I know this morning we had like I don't know, it wasn't like an actual warning, but when I went on the Weather Channel part, it was like, oh, okay, there's going to be something happening here. What's going to be happening actually? It's going to be windy. Okay. And I forget how it said it. It was like there's a moderate chance of a severe storm. It's like it was worded really weird. So yeah. So anyway, I know there's red flag warning on the eastern side of Oregon. I know there's what's the other one? Heat warning, and in Washington, there's both of those in California right now. So yeah. All right. And Verna says it's been stormy off and on, but not bad. Yes, and I showed up. And so it's been hot. And I know last week we talked about cooking on your dashboard. And I do have a playlist all about cooking on your dashboard. And yes, in your car is a solar oven. And that doesn't work. That didn't work. Oh, great. What did I do? What did I do? Okay, I'm back. I don't know what I did. Sorry, guys. This is what happens when I'm on my phone, I guess. I was trying to tilt it so that like it wasn't mostly sky. That's okay. Anyway, what I was saying is that, cooking on your dashboard is a good use of energy when you're in the heat. And then you can start with things like cookies. That's, good. make sure you have an edge on your cookie tray and then or cookie sheet, because the fats will melt first and they will go off the edge of it if it's not level. And PJ took that to heart, and she actually made ribs in her car. So congratulations to PJ. I know she's sleeping right now, but congratulations if you watch this later, on successfully cooking tasty ribs. She said they were really good in your car. So it can be done. It is done. And I encourage everyone to do this when you have the ability to do that. Yeah. And then if you want to see PJ's cooked ribs, you can join. I put a link in the chat, Friends of Sow and Tare Facebook group, and she put something there. So we do have, I want to get you guys a little bit more engaged on that group. I post my videos there, and it's usually most active like right after. We can continue our conversations there. All right. I got fans. Thanks, Homestead Matters. Okay. Husband just had 102 on the ride from Eugene to Veneta. So it got hotter up there. Yeah, it was 94. What is it now? Let me see. I have to get up. Yeah, it's 91 now and 84 in the house. So it's cooling off. But yeah. It was at least 94. I only looked at it once. Mid 90s at Buster's. Brenna says, not bad here right now, unless I'm walking Lucy. Yeah. Okay. You had 87, but 77 now with rain. That's the thing about the Midwest, is that you get rain. Here, we don't get a lot of rain in the summertime. Mostly if there's rain, it's accompanied by lightning and thunder. So yeah. Okay, Joy has just normal breeze. It was quite windy the other day. Not like super windy, and then it's breezy right now. So yeah. Okay. Thank you for the dashboard cooking link, Verna. Yeah. So that's what I was going to go through. Kind of showing you guys that it's not just me that's the crazy one for all the cook with me, cooking on the dashboard and all that. That you're, PJ's also crazy. Yeah. So, windows are getting put in. So, of course, 94 degrees, and it's 84 in the house right now. Didn't have the windows closed, of course, because the windows are big holes until you put something in them. Of course, doors are open all day. So, but it'll be much better to have dual pane windows in the house. It will be a good energy savings. And once that's up, I can do a lot of things. So, yeah. Anyway, here's something fun. One of the contractors that came had quail, so he brought me some quail eggs. So I haven't had quail eggs in almost a year. I did not move my quail with me. I will have them again. I need to get the location set up, and it's not first on my priority list. So that is, it's a good thing, to have just a few of them. Oh my gosh. Joy says 2 of my bunnies escaped yesterday. I caught one, haven't seen the other one yet. Silly me, left the cage door unlatched. Ooh, oh no. Oh no. Well, hopefully it'll come back. Put out some water for it and some pellets. And you might even put some pellets in like a live trap that you can catch. Because I did catch a rabbit one time with one of those. It was one that showed up in the neighborhood. It was a pet rabbit. Yeah. Well, good luck. Because I mean, Risotto and her babies, well, 4 of her 10 babies escaped. And I think I don't know what happened, but I make sure I latch those because they're slide bolts right now, and I hate slide bolts. so I make sure they're latched. But it doesn't take much to open them. So I don't know if the fox that's been around opened it or something else. I did see another fox, or maybe the same one, and they're so tiny here. They're so tiny. It's gray fox. And a while back, whenever I would step out of the chicken coop, there would be this gray streak that just like went under me and by me. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? That's what it was. I'm pretty sure. I was like, is that a squirrel? Is that a whatever? Because it didn't register to me anything except for a gray streak. And that's what it was. So yeah, foxes. Verna says, good when you insulate that one wall. Yeah, my bedroom is not insulated. I did not know that. The bathroom that's adjoining it is. So I don't know what happened, if they ran out of money or what, but it was not insulated. So it's going to be. There's two walls, so it's on the corner. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, who doesn't insulate in an area that it gets cold? I don't know. All right. Erica says, hello, everyone. Hello, Erica. Erica and PJ, I haven't seen any other, are Katrina's kids. They are members of the channel. We need to figure out a date, and we can do a Sunday if that works. I know that works for Erica's schedule. We could do Saturday too, but sometime after 4th of July, I'm going to send out options. But if you guys want to let me know what dates don't work for July, then that would be helpful. If there are any dates that don't work, I believe the 27th does not work for me. I think that's the only one that doesn't work. So anyway, if there are dates that do not work for you guys for the monthly Cook With Me Live, that would be helpful for me to know now. And actually, let me do this. So if you want to become a member, we do a Cook With Me Live every month, and it's a whole lot of fun. I don't know what we're cooking this next month yet. I have to figure out. It'll probably have rabbit involved, which means you can do rabbit or chicken or quail or, I don't know, tofu if you want. But yeah, we have a lot of fun though, cooking with each other, joking around, being silly, telling our stories and all that. So yeah. Joey says I squirreled. Yeah, okay. July's open for you, Erica. Okay. All right. Well, let's see what happens through this week, and then it's not going to be the weekend after 4th of July, because that's just not. I'm part of the group that puts on the 4th of July celebration in town, and I mean I'm working, so I'm not involved all day during these events, but we have 3 days of events. So the 2nd and the 3rd and the 4th, there's like all day stuff going on downtown. And then we put off fireworks. No, I don't do it. There is a pyro that is actually the fire chief, and he does it. So there's going to be fireworks put off at the high school. So yeah, I'm busy this week. Yeah. Rabbit Parmesan. So we did that, what, 2 times ago? We call it chicken with the cheese on top, but I did it with rabbit. Yeah, we call it chicken with the cheese on top because it's a Parmesan crusted. Is that right? And then you melt mozzarella on top. And when I was growing up, it was just chicken with cheese on top. Yeah, I think we did that when we did potato salad. Yeah. So we probably won't do that soon. We can revisit it later, but probably not soon. It did turn out really, really, really good though. I processed 21 rabbits this weekend, which is a lot. My girls are much more productive here than they were in California. I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah, they're much more productive here because 10 in one litter, 11 in another. And then so that the tractors that are out there right now are empty. I was going to do it this morning and I just was doing other things. And the contractors came and I was going to do it this in between work and out, and then they were still here, and plus it was like 90 something degrees. I'm like, okay, I don't want to do that. So now there's a dump trailer where I need to move them through. So I'm fine with that. I just have to move the other tractor down. I'll get it around. It will work. It'll be fine. But that will either happen tomorrow. I was going to do it for a video tomorrow, so I'm probably going to do a talking video tonight. I still have Mama Kitty video to make. She's doing really, really good. It's kind of funny because she's not quite as lovey-dovey to me as she was in the house, but she's still pretty lovey-dovey. And this morning she put on her back and she really needed to be, properly pet. But she doesn't do that when I'm very tall and she's very short on the ground. She does that when she's at the feeding station, which is up higher, and I'm a little shorter to her. So I get it. It's fine. Good evening, Dawn. Welcome. Verna has a dish that I might love. All right, send it my way. Are the foxes smaller than the cats? It's pretty dang small, but I believe, so I looked up the weights of them and they can be like cat-sized or maybe a little bit bigger. Their tail's enormous compared to a cat, but so they look bigger because they have a bigger tail. But I mean, I know Mama Kitty weighs 8 pounds. I don't know what Ringo weighs, but he's like not like, he's like a third bigger than her. So yeah, it's he must be, I don't know. He's more than 10 pounds, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he's like 11 or 12. I don't know though. I haven't gotten him on a cat scale and I don't remember what he was at the vet. Yeah. Dawn says, has anyone barbecue grilled quail without bacon? Any ideas? If you marinate it, it should be good. And then you have to baste it. You're talking about skinned quail, right? Because if you have quail that is plucked, then it doesn't have to, it's going to preserve that moisture a little better. But it does take more time to pluck them. Yeah. I would marinate. And yes, skinned. Okay. I would marinate. And then once you're marinated, you use that marinade over it, baste it when it's cooking. But let's see what other people say, because other people have opinions too. Yeah, Verna says marinate at least 24 hours. Yeah, marinating meat, you're going to get the more tender stuff in it if it's the longer it's marinated. I use milk in my marinade. That's supposed to tenderize somewhat. Don't know how well, but one of the marinades I make, actually there's a video on that. I don't remember what I named it. I don't remember what I named it. One of the marinades I make is, let's see, it's milk, orange juice, ginger, garlic, like ginger, like ginger on a French plate and garlic on a French plate because it gets extra aroma and extra, gushy. I said orange juice, right? Soy sauce and teriyaki sauce. I think that's it. And it makes a wonderful, wonderful marinade. And I actually did that. I made that up when it was, I would do an annual party and I did that with chicken breasts. So that's what I would do every year. Everybody knew that I was going to have that, it's kind of the constant of the party, right? Whenever I do parties, I tend to do potlucks, so and I don't assign things to people. If everybody comes with dessert, that's what we're eating. You know, everybody brings your favorite, it will be a good day. But that's something that I always did for my annual party when I was in California. Lots of thunder at Verna's place. Oh, Lucy's hiding. Good luck to her and you. Okay, Verna says marinate with zesty Italian dressing and baste with it. If you're into Italian dressing, then that would work. Yeah, the key to cooking quail is to keep it from drying out. So if you are plucking it, that's easier to do because the skin keeps in the moisture. If you are skinning it, which skinning versus plucking, skinning is so much faster and so much easier than plucking. Not that plucking's hard, but it's just faster. And so that's what most people do, even though you have a better product if you leave the skin on. If you skin it, much like rabbit, having it in a sauce or a marinade or something that holds the moisture is going to be beneficial. So that is my recommendation about that. And then whatever flavors you like, use that. Oh, Dodd says to Verna, you're getting storms. So lucky. We are in a drought here. So bad. Wind, but no rain. Dawn, how long has it been since it rained? I'm wondering what drought means out there. Because I'm so used to where I used to live, it just didn't rain from April to October. And that's not a drought. That's just summer. So I'm just curious what that means where you are. But Dawn says, I do have Italian dressing. I know quail needs oil, butter, some fat to cook it in. I have ginger and soy sauce too. No orange juice or milk in the house. Orange juice gives it that zest, and then you can do orange zest too, or lemon zest. And then the milk gives it a little extra tenderizing. Oh, a lot of small storms, Verna says. Okay. Cracks in the ground you can stick your finger in. Well, that doesn't say anything about how dry it is. That says something about your soil and how dry it is. But how long has it been since it rained? Because depending on the soil, those cracks can form in a few days of no rain. Yeah. Yeah, and things live down there. There are records of California tiger salamanders that when their breeding pond dries up, they can go down into the cracks in the ground because the cracks can go feet into the ground. Yeah. So anyway, it's been 103 plus for 3 weeks and at least that long for rain. Okay. 3 weeks definitely is not a drought here. 103 plus is not fun. For sure. For sure. Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry. 103 plus for 3 weeks. And you probably have humidity there too, right? Oh, Berna says storms last 3 or 4 days off and on. Yeah, here I don't really have a good measure of summer storms yet. I know we have them. I know it rains with them with the thunderstorms, but I don't think it happens a whole lot. Yeah. Someone says we never recovered from last year's drought. Okay. 81% humidity yesterday. It was wild. Yeah, that's a stay inside with air conditioning on day. My goodness, 81 degrees, 81% humidity and 103 degrees. No, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah. Oh, John says I almost died or thought I was going to in the garden with the humidity. Yeah, you don't want to be outside doing that. That's when you go out in the middle of the night. It's when you need to become nocturnal, Dawn. My goodness. Yeah, get the electrolytes. That is absolutely true. That's absolutely true, Verna. And I've done a lot of field work in super, super hot conditions. I was down in well, I guess it's high desert, down in Taft, California. Do you know where that is? And it was 115 degrees. That's hot. You stop I think we stopped every half an hour for a 15-minute break. It was ridiculous. We shouldn't have been out there. But I absolutely hate Gatorade. But I got Gatorade because it does have all the electrolytes and stuff that you do need. And I know when I'm craving Gatorade, that is bad. Yeah. Dawn says, I take soul water twice a day for electrolytes. What is soul water? Is that just like a Pedialyte type thing? Because Pedialyte is another thing that people drink instead of Gatorade. I was on a site once where they actually had a medic on the site, and I asked him, like, okay, I hate Gatorade. What else can I use? And he goes, well, a lot of people use Pedialyte, and that works the same or even better. Okay. And then I never did it. I don't know where to get Pedialyte. I don't shop for baby things. Probably just at the grocery store, right? Yeah. I'm gonna look that up. Soul water. Oh, dissolving unrefined salt, typically Himalayan pink salt, in water until the water is fully saturated. That sounds disgusting. But probably helpful, especially if you're sweating, right? Okay. 1 part Himalayan salt into a glass jar with a lid. Add 4 parts water. Cover and shake it up. That is a lot of salt. That's a lot of salt. But I know when I went into, I did my undergraduate schooling in the Midwest, and it was such a shock to me to see people. We had a cafeteria at the school. They get their stuff in the cafeteria. They sit down before they even taste anything. They full entire plate, and that just doesn't work for me. But I guess if you are sweating so much that you need to do that, then I guess you do that. Yeah. Yeah. So Dawn says it's a Himalayan soaked water. I mean, it can't dissolve anymore. It is fused. I don't do sugar, no Gatorade, no Pedialyte or chemicals. Right. Yeah, there is sugar in these things and other things. And Verna uses something else. I don't have a name though, Verna. Dawn says, I tried to cheat one time and take the soul water 1 teaspoon in 8 ounces. Doc had me take blood tests and it showed up I was cheating. Okay. What uses stevia and no sugar, Verna? Oh, the thing that you use. Okay. Yeah. They do have a no sugar Gatorade too, which I don't know if it's stevia or aspartame, or I don't know if it's one of the good guys or the bad guys sugar wise, or sweet and wise. But they do have a no sugar one. Yeah, I like I'm gonna call it white. People call it clear, and it's not clear. It's a cherry. It's supposed to be cherry. Doesn't taste like cherry. That's when I have Gatorade. That's the one I get. But I do not enjoy the taste of it. If I do enjoy the taste of it, I know there's something going on with stuff. Oh, Venture Pal sugar-free electrolyte powder packets. Okay. So Verna has a freeze dryer. I do too. This is something that you could probably do in your freeze dryer. Is, like I have freeze dried peach puree, which is basically peach puree with the skins and everything, so you have all the fiber, minus the pits. And so peach puree into the freezer, frozen, then into the freeze dryer, and then that goes into the blender, and you make a powder. And I didn't recently, but I need to open another package and make it. I've been using it as like a peach water, and the peach water is really, really good, and it's hydrating, and it's also like the flavors there, and then it has all of the stuff that the peaches have. Of course, it's just not, it's not like eating a peach. And I would say you could do that and maybe add some of your salts to that. Make your own. Right. Berna says, I add it to distilled water as I can't stand nor trust the tap water here. Yeah, Gatorade Zero. That's what it is, Buster. It's been so long since I got it. Dawn says, I drink my soul water in the morning while the coffee is brewing. Then in the evening, if I went to work outside in the heat. If you're sweating it all out and you need to replenish, that's for sure. Yeah. Yes, exactly. You can do the same thing for cucumbers, as they're very, nature is hydrating, and it's a cooling vegetable. Yeah. Yeah. So I plan to do more powders. I think my experimentation with the peaches in that way is really, really good. I'm not using it to the full effect. But it's definitely awesome. Like, so what can you do with freeze-dried powder? Like a fruit powder. You can make a fruit water. You can rehydrate back into fruit juice. You can, or not even juice. It wasn't juice to begin with. You can make it into a juice, or you can make it into puree again, kind of like an applesauce or something, or a peach sauce or whatever. You can make it whatever thickness you want. You can add it straight to breads so it doesn't water down your bread. You can add it, you can make jello out of it. So just add gelatin. You don't even have to add sugar if you already have sugar in the fruit itself. And you can make your own jello. I haven't done that yet, but I want to, and I will. So yeah, it's an interesting thing to do, to think about what you can do with it. Excuse me. Because you can do so much with it. Not just add it to different things, but I mean, you can add it to frostings, or add it to, those little packages of oatmeal that have the little powder. You could make your own oatmeal and just put in some powder. Thank you. I've been blessed. And I think that's a really good, it's a really good thing to do. And I think I'm going to be exploring that more. You can mix them, all of that. Good evening, Earthlings. Good evening, Howie with Food Forest Permaculture. Hope you're doing well. Dawn says, I've been taking it since 2014. I'll stick with what I know works, because in 4 weeks for the next blood test, I was like, okay. Sorry, I just got a text. She was not testing for that, but it showed up. Yeah, exactly. Yep, powdered cucumbers. That sounds like it would take a while to make, but it would definitely be beneficial. And you could, if you powder cucumbers, then you can make it. You can still use it as an herb in like ziti sauce, but then you could add it to waters, and I mean, you can do all sorts of stuff. Yeah, add some to iced tea for a drink, right, Berna? Your flavored iced teas, yeah. Don says, I was like, I had to admit. Oh boy. Does anybody know how much salt is in Himalayan salt? Because I know Himalayan pink salt is, we call it salt because it's salt, but there's like so much other things in it. Do you know what the percentage is? Like, I don't know. I'm just curious. Because I was trying to tell a kid the other day who came over to make dinner that Himalayan salt isn't as salty as her regular salt that they had at their house. Because I don't have the regular salt. I just cook with Himalayan salt. And she was having a hard time grasping that. Yeah. All right. Would you peel the cucumbers first or not? So yeah, Buster, the thing is about the freeze drying is it amplifies the flavors. So if you have a cucumber that has a bitter peel and you don't want what you're going to make with it bitter, then I would peel it. If you want the bitters for medicine, because you should be eating some bitter things, then leave it on, but then label it so you know what you're getting into. And then also, if you have cucumbers that do not have bitter skins, then put them in. So that is something with the freeze drying. Excuse me. With the freeze drying is what you put in is going to be amplified in flavor, and the reason is it doesn't have any water in it. Like that is, basically, if you take watermelon, take away the water, you have sugar. You have flavored sugar. It's a similar thing for cucumbers. If you have cucumbers and you take away the water, it becomes very small, but very concentrated in flavor. So, yeah, hopefully that answered your question. Howie says, I am well, busy with my hobbies. My very best to you, Katrina. Thank you to you as well. Berna says, oh, Katrina made my doctor try nasturtium and porridge. She loved them. I love them too. They are great. They are great. Howie's out to water. See y'all again. All right. Well, thanks for stopping in. Don says, if it has a lot of minerals in it, it's really salty if infused as in soul water. Well, yeah, better be, huh? An old friend took a teaspoon of it a couple months ago straight and just about died. It's something that I think you might have to work up to, right? Okay, 1 teaspoon, about 6 grams of Himalayan pink salt contains about 2, that's not a measurement I can think of, 2,300 milligrams of sodium. This is similar to the amount of sodium in regular table salt. Himalayan salt. Okay. What percent is that, though? How many milligrams in a gram is? Yeah. Okay. 6 grams. You guys went away. Hang on, I gotta find you again. Okay. So 6 grams. And there's 1,000 grams. Okay. So not even half. Yeah, not even half then. Okay. Buster's going to try it. Report back, please. I would like to know. I'm not going to try it until you guys test it. Okay. Take 1 teaspoon of soul water that is not like salt you measure. Drink it in 8 ounces of water, not salty. Drink it straight and it will burn your throat. Okay. So you're making a concentrate is what I hear. Okay. And Verna says, I would use real salt if I was going to do that. And you're talking about Redmond salt, right? Because Himalayan salt is real salt. But I think you're talking about Redmond brand salt. So salt I think everybody who's chatting already knows this, but for anybody that's watching later or watching on the sides, salt is basically a mineral. It's something you mine in the ground. It's basically like a rock, right? And you get it out of the ground, and it has, salt is what we go after for. It basically, humans started using it as a preservative mostly, and then also people use it to season. But I think it was primarily used as a preservative. And I mean, you think of like salted pork was a thing, and all sorts of salted meats. I mean, when you cure meat, it's in salt, usually. So it has it has good properties that way. And then you have different salts from around different regions. So, the table salt, I don't really know where our table salt, like just regular table salt, comes from. A lot of times you'll see enriched iodized salt. And so iodine is something that a lot of people are just naturally deficient in. It's not in a whole lot of foods and stuff like that. So it's added to table salt sold in stores. So that's not something that naturally occurs in that salt. It's something that's added. And that's either good or bad, depending on what you're using it for. Himalayan pink salt comes from Himalayan, and it is, it's mined. There's sea salt where there's drying pools. So if you look at an aerial imagery of the San Francisco Bay, actually, do you guys want to do that? We can do that. Let me show you. Hang on. I got to peek behind you so I can get my Google Earth going. Where's my Google Earth? And sea salt does have microplastics in it. Yeah. But okay, let's just look. San Francisco Bay, California. Let me get there, then I'll change the picture. Okay. Let me share, present, share screen. Why does it not say, window? Here we go. Share. Okay. So you see, there's the San Francisco Bay Area. On the south side of the bay, see all these pools? Can you guys see my mouse? Yes, you can. Okay. You see all these pools right here? They're different colors. And over here, some over here. These pools are man-made pools, and they're basically salt drying pools. And there's levees in there, and there's like ways to manage the water to let it in when they want it and dry it out when they, keep the water out when they want it to dry out. But like here, I don't know if you guys know this, you can see my mouse up here on top. You can go back in time. And so this thing up here is basically calendar, right? So you go to the left and you can click through different time periods and see how it's the same or different. So, whether it's drying or not, or there's, I don't know what the pink is, if it's algae. But there's all these different color ponds in San Francisco Bay that are used for salt. So like here's one where, there's a different picture in the middle, but where it's drying. And then they go in and they scrape it up. And that's, I don't know what further refinement it may or may not have from there. But like, let's go back the furthest way. 1948. Look at that. 1985. 91. Yeah. So it's kind of fun to play around Google Earth. But that's how they do the salt. Yeah. All right. I'm zooming up. Verna says American-made pink salt. Yeah, exactly. Dawn says I have 3-pound box of Redmond salt, but it's not being used for soul water. Okay. Cucumbers will be fun, Buster, says Verna. You can do the same with watermelon. Yep. Dawn says, I grew up with Tupperware and microplastics. I'm not changing now. Tea bags are full of microplastics. Yeah, unless you get the silk ones. Yep. Because they do make silk ones. They also make paper ones. Dawn says, what were those plastic dishes? Melamine? I don't know that. I know Tupperware. Lots of microplastics. It is in a lot of things. Dawn says, I'm going to guess you meant to say that's cool. Yep. It is cool. It is cool. Yeah. And it's really neat to go back in time on Google Earth and see different things. The other thing that it has is when you do that, now we were in the salt flats, so we didn't actually see roads. But if there's a road right now and it's on Google Earth, if you go back in time, you can see what used to be there and the road will still be there. So like if there's old orchards, there'll just be a picture of the old orchards, and then the roads layer will still be there from today, which is interesting. Eric's here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Plastic Surgery Addicts Anonymous. Oh my gosh. I see a lot of new faces here tonight. My goodness, Eric. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Yeah. Dawn says, I did cucumber, watermelon infused water, and peppermint and fruits. That sounds good. Eric says, I was just attacked. They threw seasonings and a 9-volt at me. It was a salt and battery. Eric, it sounds like you're feeling good. Are you feeling good today? Oh, man. Yeah. Seasonings and a 9-volt battery. My goodness. Anyway, what I was going towards is that different salts have different properties because of where they come from. And whatever property you're looking for may or may not be, what's in yours. So yeah. Yeah. I know I've talked about this before, but a little while ago I had a several week long thing that I don't know what happened, but I was craving, the seaweed snacks and coconut water. This has been a long time now, and I've talked about it before. But I figured out that my body was deficient in something that was in those. And so now, just randomly, every once in a while, I'll have a sea salt, what is it called? A seaweed treat, which is not that great. I don't love them, but I know when I crave it that I need it, right? And then the coconut water is okay, but when I needed it, it was like, this is so delicious. And I was like just guzzling that and eating the seaweed all over the place, right? So when that happens, I've now identified something that for whatever reason I may be nutritionally low in. It may be that I'm not getting something in the water that I used to get, because I'm on well water now, or some other reason, gene turn on and off, whatever. And that I'm just trying to moderate some extra intake when I don't have those cravings, just to keep myself steady. So if Dawn, like you're saying, you've been doing the Himalayan salt and water since, what do you say, 2014, and it's working for you, keep doing it, especially if your doctor's in on it too. Eric says, I'm good with a stray. What? Okay. I don't know what that means. Oh, with a streak of bad. You weren't done talking. Got it. Okay. Streak isn't bad. Yeah, that's how Cruella de Vil got her character, right? Don't go Cruella de Vil on us. Eric says, what do you do if you're addicted to seaweed? Seek help. Yeah. Yep. You are quick on your feet today, Mr. Eric. Okay, the soul water was the first thing she prescribed, and homemade bone broth twice a day when I got Lyme disease and while she was waiting on blood tests. Yeah. I need to be better about drinking bone broth, like in the morning or something. Because I will have it with, like, if I'm making a soup or if I'm making something that, if I'm making rice or something, I'll put that as the liquid part. But I'm not good at just straight up drinking it. And I think I need the way I do bone broth, I don't season it with anything. I don't do any of that. I just do it straight up because I don't know what I'm going to use it in. So I think what I need to do is I need to find whatever seasoning balance it needs and go from there. So, yeah. It is what it is. Yeah, and bone broth can do a lot of good stuff too, for sure. Bone broth can do a lot. It has all the stuff the bones have in it, right? Oh, Dawn says, can't touch bone broth anymore. I'm in remission, so I don't take it. After all those years making enough to drink 1 cup a day for years. Nope. Oh my gosh. Okay. So not even like a little bit? Interesting. Oh, Verna says, when I'm quiet is because I'm crocheting. I understand. His hands have to do something, right? That's good. Yeah. So I want to hear what you guys' 4th of July plans are and what you're doing for your animals. I know, like, Verna's talking about Lucy. Lucy is a doggy, and she also doesn't like fireworks. And what you're going to do for your animals. So for mine, nothing. My chicken and my breeder bunnies they're doing good. Yeah. They're city raised, so they're used to all the boom booms, and they've never had a reaction, really. Tortellini used to have a little small reaction to the ones that were super close, but they really don't care. Now, the babies that are in there, who knows, right? But I don't really anticipate a whole lot here, except for the show, and like right around that time. I don't know what to expect. It's my first 4th of July here, so I don't really know. But I know I haven't heard any yet, which tells me a whole lot, because where I used to live, you heard them all year round. Yeah. But what are you guys going to be up to? Don says, if you drank or ate something twice a day for years, would you want more? I would think your body would, like, after a few days, be like, where's that stuff we used to have? Yeah. Almost done with your daughter's fishnet sweater, Verna. That is awesome. She's going to love it. I'm guessing it's purple. I guess, right? Eric says, we had to assemble a skeleton in science class today. I hid the arm bone. No one found that bone. What? I hid the arm bone. No one found that bone. I get it. I don't know, Eric. I don't get it. Verna says, Lucy and I will be sitting here cussing a lot. I hate this time of year. Yep, that's what I figured. Dawn says, I just have quail. They have already heard the fireworks and don't like it, but either they get used to it or wait or I wait on the July 7th hatch, right? Yeah, so you can prepare your hatchlings, your little chickies, for a loud time. You can play loud music next to them, or put a television next to them, or that has different sounds, and you can acclimate them to sound. When I was in the city, my quail didn't even flinch at all. They didn't react to anything except for certain birds that flew over and made sound. And it wasn't all birds, it was just certain types of birds. And blimps. They did not like the blimps. They all just, whenever the blimp went over, they would just pause and just stay there forever. And then when it left, they'd go about their business. But those are the only things they really reacted to. Eric says, if you boil a phony bone, it becomes a laughing stock. That's humorous. Got that one. Okay, so Dawn says, I am planning on barbecue quail because I have never had it grilled. I will tell you, dashboard quail is delicious. And it keeps all its moisture. I mean, the moisture is in the same container. It doesn't keep it inside the bird, but it's delicious. Dawn says, I plan on staying cool and just a little barbecue for 2. Nice. Uh-oh. Eric's on a mission. What? Rainforest mandala yarn. I don't know what that even means. Is there like a bunch of different colors? I don't know the color rainforest mandala. All right. Dawn says, I hate them too. They're illegal in Illinois, but they do it anyway. Yeah, so in general, fireworks are illegal here. They have the safe and sane ones, which can still start a fire, guys. But there is a fireworks show. And because the fire chief is the one that sets them off, because he's a pyro, I feel a little bit more secure. I'm pretty sure all the fire people are going to be there anyway. We have a volunteer fire department. Yeah. Buster says, oh yeah, Buster's asking the same thing. Is it the one with all the different colors, the yarn? John's other quail did not care. I assume these may be used to it from the other night. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. It is the one with all the different colors. What do you call a snowman in July? Eric says. A puddle. Oh. Don says, I know what that yarn is. Okay. Okay. Why are there no 4th of July knock-knock jokes? Because freedom rings. That's a good one. I'm going to have to remember that for my mom because it's her birthday on the 4th of July. That's a good one. Yeah. Yeah, I was in town this weekend and I stopped. The people were painting the food truck tower. Where did tower come from? Food truck trailer. There we go. And that we're going to do for the events later this week. And so that is happening, and it'd be good. Be good to get that going. We finished paint, so I stopped and I helped paint it. It's now red, white, and blue instead of the previous color, and so it's ready to go. And so if you're in town, if you know who I am in town, I'll be out there after work, and I'll be out there on the 4th. Not in the booth. I'm gonna be doing kids games, but yeah. Dawn says, I forgot it's after 9. I have to get off the computer. Have a good night, everyone. 4th of July was my dad's birthday. Well, have a wonderful time and happy birthday to him. Yeah. All right. You guys aren't very enthusiastic tonight. I was going to talk about the heat again because it was hot. That was going to be the topic of discussion, but we kind of already talked about it. Oh, Buster says happy early birthday, Katrina's mom. I will pass that along to her, and she'll be happy. Yeah. Here what is. Okay. Verna, I'm going to have to go on the Facebook one because I did not have that open yet. So I can see what this is. Here we go. What is this? Oh, it's her yarn. Okay. It has purple in it. Purple, blue, and green. Those are the colors. Those are the best colors. That's just where it is. Those are the best colors. I always said if I ever were to dye my hair, which I'm not planning on it, I would do like a little chunk up here and do 3 different colors, purple, green, and blue, and braid it and just have a braid. But I probably will never do this. Yeah. Rainforest color. Okay. Eric says, what did the ghost say on the 4th of July? Red, white, and boom. Got it. Yeah. It's kind of clouding over here. It was so hot and so clear today. I didn't think we were going to get clouds at the end of the day. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so I have a lot of rabbits that are going through their resting period right now in the coolers, and I am wanting to can a lot of it because I want to get it kind of stocked up on that stuff once it's ready. And so I am asking you guys for. I've already canned some that's just plain. I canned some that's chili. I have some that's soup. Are there things that I might not be thinking about, like topics of food that would have that's cannibal that would have rabbit in it? Because that would be my question. Yeah. Erica's plan is going to stay home in the air conditioning. Erica, I like your plan. It's a great plan. I love it. Oh. Eric says, you're telling me June is about to be over? No way, dude. Julying. Ho, ho, ho. Anyway. So yeah, I was going to talk about heat, but we've kind of already talked about it. But yeah, if you guys have anything rabbit food related that I should be trying out, should be making, I did actually try. So one of the Cook With Me lives, we made beef stroganoff and a cake. And I made beef stroganoff instead of beef stroganoff. I did rabbit stroganoff. And that turned out really well. And so, but that would be something that would be totally freeze dryable. And I haven't done a whole lot of freeze dried meals yet, but I'm kind of thinking that maybe I should start doing that kind of thing too. Now, there's still electricity stuff going on here, so I don't want to do that now, unfortunately, because I don't want the power to have to go out and then go back on and mess it up. But yeah. Do a lot of canned rabbit to use in other recipes. You should freeze dry a bunch of rabbit. I have a bunch of rabbit freeze dried. And like I said, I don't want to use my freeze dryer right now because I don't know when the electrician stuff is happening. It's very frustrating to me to do that because I really would like to use that big machine that I finally got going. It's so inconsistent with what's going on, and then I'm having an argument with EcoFlow right now. So we'll see what happens with that. I know at least 2 people that are very happy with it, and they don't actually have a UL listing stamp on the units that they sent me, which means either it's counterfeit and they sent it to me anyway, or they showed me where it was supposed to be and it's not there. So in order to pass inspection for my solar stuff, it has to have the stamp. So there is one answer: send me ones that are stamped, take the other ones back. That's the only answer, and I don't know why it's taken so long. So I've been in contact with them. I'm going to call them again tomorrow. And now you guys know that. Hopefully it's a good system then. It looks like it works. I know 2 people that have it and love it, but I don't think they have the whole system, or the whole big system, but which means it doesn't have to like pass inspection. But if I have that many batteries, I need it to make sure that they are safety inspected. They're in the house basically. So yeah, I might. So Verna, that's kind of what I was thinking of. If I didn't really think of something to do, what I did last time when I canned rabbit, honestly, it's such a big task that I pressure cooked them. I pulled off the meat. I put the bones in a different place, and the meat that I pulled off went straight into a jar. The juices that come out of it went into the jars, and I just canned it like that. And you can use that for a lot of things. It's just pre-cooked, so you are cooking it more than it needs to be, but it's so much less work. It's so much less work than taking it off the bone, and then like putting it in the jar, and then it cooks when you can it. So much extra work. So that's what I did this last time, and I think honestly, I think that's going to be what I do moving forward, because it's so much easier. And yeah, it's a slightly better result when you do like par cooked. It has a slightly different texture, but it's not enough to warrant the extra time that it takes. It takes a long time. Now, I think part of what also that helps with is it browns it, so you get that little extra browning flavoring. So I don't know that that's necessary if you're mixing it with stuff, which is usually how I use it. I use it with the sauce, or use it with noodles or something. Yeah. Eric says, while generally herbivores, rabbits can exhibit cannibalistic behavior, particularly in the context of mothers consuming their young. Cannibal rabbits. Oh, yes, they do. They do that. They eat the placentas, and then they can eat the dead ones, if they do have dead ones. And then I've seen jackrabbits, which is a hare, not a rabbit, but I've seen jackrabbits eat roadkill, eat other rabbits on the road that have come to their demise. Yeah. So, yep, but they're cannibal. They're cannibal. Yeah. So, how are you guys' gardens going? Mine is not great because I haven't planted the plants yet. They're still in their containers. I am so behind on that. So behind. I will get there. Not today. Probably not this weekend. It's supposed to be hot again next week too. Yeah. Horses will eat mice and rats and other small critters. I did not know that, but yeah. I know deer will eat nestlings, like the ground nesting birds. They'll eat nestlings and eggs if they're pregnant. They need the extra protein. I don't know how many deer do this. I just know it's been documented a couple times, I think, at least. Yeah. Anyway, so that's fun. Well, guys, you guys are not very, very talkative. And I'm wondering if we should end early or if you guys want to talk about stuff. And I'm fine with ending early if that's what we were doing. Oh, I don't know if you guys saw the video from today. Ringo caught a mole the other day. No. Was it in the video? I think it was in the video. Ringo caught a mole the other day and didn't eat it. He caught it during the day after his breakfast. No idea why the mole was above ground or if I didn't see a burrow over there. But yeah. Yeah. Where it says all herbivores will eat meat when their bodies are low on nutrients. Yep. I had a teacher in high school, and she said she was vegetarian, and when she said when she was pregnant, they were doing a bike ride, and she smelled steak, and they had to stop and get a steak because that's what baby needed was a steak. Vegetarian. Yep, if your body needs it, and especially if your kid needs it that's inside of you, you stop. Yep. Erica's crocheting. You guys should race. Okay, yeah, it was in the video. Okay, I thought it was. Yeah. Anyway. All right, guys. Well, I might end this early. It is hot here. That's what I know. That's what I know is it's hot. So if you guys are okay with that, you don't have any last minute questions or any of that, then we might end this early. And yeah, so Verna commented on the video that Lucy won't eat moles either. And I responded to her. So shrews, the cats catch shrews all the time. And in fact, one of them threw up either a shrew or a mouse. I did not look close enough to find out. But it was like it bit off the head and then ate the body whole. Like, thanks, guys. But some shrews have a venom, and they have it in the back, by the back teeth and it comes out in the saliva. And there's more and more species of mammals that we're becoming aware of that have venom. So, I mean, when I went through school, it was only the platypus. That was the only one that had, and they have venomous spurs on the back feet. I think just males. Is that right? And so there's more and more that we're becoming aware of. So I don't know. I mean, I kind of expected him to eat it by today, but it's still sitting there. Yeah. Eric got some gardening done today. I planted myself on the couch. Yep. Yep. Yeah, Buster says, Katrina, hope you get cooler weather. I hope so. Or at least can close up the house and put air conditioning on. This is the first house I've had air conditioning. And I would really like to run it off of my solar if it would. Yeah, I'm having issues. Eric says, how are unicorns fake but giraffes are real? Like, what's more believable, a horse with a horn or a leopard moose camel with a 40-foot neck? Exactly. Exactly. Nature's weird, dudes. Yeah, nature is weird. I remember being in the field with one of my friends and coworker, and we were seeing tarantula hawks. And tarantula hawk is a black iridescent wasp, and the body's like that big, like that big. And if it's female, it has a pretty long ovipositor, which is the stinger, and it has bright orange wings. And we saw one, and we're like, wow, I've never seen one here before. It's pretty much kind of a more drier area thing. And so at lunchtime, he was talking to his wife, and I could hear both that you were close enough. I could hear both their conversations. Neither one of them will mind that I'm telling the story, by the way. And it's like, oh, tarantula hawk. And she's like, what? Because tarantula and hawk should not go in the same sentence, right? And so then he's telling her about it. He said, yeah, it's this wasp that they find a tarantula or another big spider, and it goes there and it stings them, and the sting paralyzes the spider, and then they drag it to a burrow inside the burrow, and then they lay eggs in it, and then the eggs hatch, and the spider's still alive but it's paralyzed, and once the baby wasp larvae are inside and they hatch inside, and then they eat it while it's still alive. Yeah, and then I hear over the phone, ew, nature's gross. So that's what I go back to when I hear stuff like that. Nature is unique. It's gross. It's all those things. It checks all the boxes. So, yep, nature can be very cruel. That is a truth, Verna. That is a truth. Yeah. Yeah, like whose plan is it to make a tarantula hawk? Like who's like, yep, I'm going to design that one right there. That's a good thing to do. I mean, maybe if you're made a video game, but not life. Right? I'm sure someone could make a video game of all the animals that are weird and have weird attributes. Yeah. Eric says, I went to the doctor with hearing problems. He says, can you describe the symptoms? I replied, Homer is the fat dude and Marge has blue hair. I've heard that one before. Yep. That is a hearing problem. Yeah. Cats are on that list of nature being cruel because doesn't matter how much you feed them, they're still going to kill things and not eat them sometimes. A lot of times it's just a toy, and that's what they're doing. Which here, that's kind of fine to do because it's, well, at least the rodents, the birds, they can leave alone, please. But yeah, the rodents definitely, get into stuff otherwise. So anyway, yeah. So cats are part of the cruel nature. And so far as I know, the fox is just attacking the cherry tree. Yeah. So. All right, guys. Well, I might sign off here. Hopefully it wasn't too short. We got almost an hour and a half in, and hopefully it was interesting. I do need to figure out what's going on with my camera. Hopefully I figure out before next meeting. I am going down to Medford next week, so I may go early and say, help me with my camera. Hopefully I don't need to, but I think I do. All right. Verna says, have a very blessed night. Have a wonderful night. I hope the thunder lets up for you guys. And I hope everybody has a good 4th of July and all the associated shenanigans is kept to a safe level. Good night, Buster. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Again, a reminder, next week we're on Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, right after Slut Your Redneck. And we will see you next Thursday. And have a wonderful night.